I'll take you back to the beginning, and then I'm take you on the journey. So, as Alexander just told you guys, I was born in Mississippi. So I'm from the heart of the South. Actually, I was born in Memphis because we didn't have a hospital. That tells you what it was like where I lived in Mississippi. And I grew up, honestly, in a pretty rough situation. Mississippi, if you don't know much about, it's the poorest state in the union. So we had a lot of difficulties. We had a lot of adversity in our lives. We had a lot of chaos. We had a lot of drama. And in my life, it caused me to really start at an early age questioning, like, man, why? Why is all this happening? I'm talking a little kid, like, why do I have to go through this? Why is there so much trouble? And so then my dad, who's actually one of my biggest fans to this day, that's a whole other story. He was a young man and he had mega voids in his heart and he didn't know how to fill them. So what did he do? He tried to fill them with all the wrong things. He tried to fill them with alcohol. He tried to fill them with gambling. So we lived in a town, small town in Mississippi, where like one dude owned like 80% of the town. He owned everything. So he owned our house. So he made a deal. He liked my family. He liked my mom. He said, hey, I'll tell you what, you guys can take this house off my hands. If you just pay me $10,000, I'll sign the deed over. House is worth way more than 10. Give you $10,000, then I'll sign this over to you. Okay. So what my mom did was she hustled. She hustled like many of you guys hustle. They saved up $10,000. She gave it to my dad. She said, I want you to take it straight to this man. I want you to put it in his hands. And then we'll be homeowners. Fast forward, 3 months later, the guy calls my mom and says, hey, I haven't heard from you. I thought you said you wanted this house. We were waiting on you to make your payment. Like, did something happen? And that is how my mom found out that my dad had gambled away the entire $10,000. And that's how she found out that we were now going to be homeless. We didn't have anywhere to go. More adversity, more difficulty, more struggle. Why? Why is all of this happening? Like, why should any kid, why are we going days without electricity? I have no control over what situation I'm born into. Why do we have days where there's no food? Why am I watching my mom? I didn't understand this as a child, but why am I watching her like not eat so that my brothers and I could eat? I know y'all see me now, I ain't missing no meals, but there was a time when that was a regular occurrence. So that was difficult. And so it kept, this reoccurring question kept playing in my mind, like, why? And I don't know if you guys are like me, but maybe sometimes life happens to you. And it's a hard knock life. And when life hits hard, and life doesn't fight fair. So maybe you found times in your own life or your own story, your own situation where you ask why? Why? Why isn't my business flourishing like whoever? Why isn't my team growing like so-and-so? Why aren't these things moving the way that I thought they would? Why aren't I progressing in my business like this person on my team or this other person? Why is someone under me outproducing me, outperforming me, getting like all of these things? Why? You're asking this question, right? We're going to get real tonight. I hope y'all cool with it. So, why was the question that I asked. But something significant happened in my life that transformed the entire trajectory. Alexander shared a little bit of it. As I turned 18 years old, I don't know what I'm going to do. I got a father who's telling me, you're not going to be anything but a bum. You're not going to be nothing, this, all of these things. I'm just kind of going through the motions, just trying to figure it out, trying to find myself. And at age 18, I'll never forget this, on a routine night with 4 of my friends, we just headed home from a youth event with the church. 4 of us in a car, and I remember just rolling down the highway, and I was literally just starting to fade. And as I was going to sleep, it's cool, I can sleep because I'm not driving. And I remember hearing the loudest explosion I ever heard in my life. So it was like boom, boom, and I woke up, and I got afraid. I was startled, like, did the car explode? What just happened? So I looked to my left to my friend who's driving. I was like, bro, what just happened? Are we okay? And he's like frantic, like, I don't know. He's yelling, I don't know. So I'm watching his hands. He's fighting with the steering wheel. The car's fishtailing. We going back and forth. It starts jumping and shaking. This is frantic. We fly off the highway at 75 miles per hour. right in front of a bridge, down into this medium, 25 feet. The car spins in the air. We're taking out trees. I counted 6. Before finally, boom, we hit a big tree and the car scrunches into a ball. The tree is in the car on top of us. We are locked in this piece of metal. And I was afraid to open my eyes because I didn't know what I was going to see. What I haven't shared is that one of my very best friends in this world died in a car accident not 2 years before me. And so when I opened my eyes and I saw that everyone was okay, not only were we okay, after some miraculous events, I literally took a door off the hinge, like had to take it off the car to get us out. We climbed up the side of the hill. But the important thing is we all 4 walked away. And that made a light bulb go off. But it wasn't instant because of my first thought was, I went back to that same question. Why? Why did my best friend die? And why am I still here? Why? Why did I have to go through that? That cost me the ability to play football anymore because even though I walked away, I still had some structural damage in my neck. I lost something that I was most passionate about in this world. Why? I keep bringing that question up because that's significant. We ask that question so much, so often in life, but what you got to realize is that's the wrong question, and that's the revelation that I had. The question was not why. The question was not why did I go through this? The question was not why am I still here? But the question was what? What are you here for? Not why are you here? What are you here for? And when I shifted my frame of reference, it made me reprocess everything that I've ever been through, every struggle, every heartache, every hurt, every pain, everything that I was told, all the brokenness, it made me rethink it. Because I realized my pain was not for me. It wasn't to hurt me. It wasn't to hinder me. I got a friend who says, my God gave us mountains so that we can go higher. It's not to keep you down. It's not to be a barrier to hold you down. It's so that we can climb higher. So many of you, if you follow me on Clubhouse, you've heard this part of the story. But I really want to hone in here before we go into the second part of this talk, and that is adversity. Adversity is a fact of life. You're going to face it in your business. You're going to have times where life happens. Here's the thing. Every single one of your beautiful faces I see on this camera has a family. Maybe you got husband or wife or kids, or you got other things. You got parents you're taking care of. You've lost loved ones. You got people who are sick. Life does not stop happening just because you decide you got a goal or a dream. Matter of fact, it's going to hit you harder. The moment you decide to set intentionality for your life and decide you're going to do greater, adversity comes presenting itself. And that's when we have a choice to make. We can throw in the towel. We can give up. I know there's no quitters in this room, though. I can tell by the energy. But we will become tempted to say, this isn't working for me anymore. But I want to tell you something. And this is a story that I always share, but it was powerful to me. It changed my mind forever. And it stems from a few years ago when I actually went to Jamaica. And I went there, my wife and I were on our honeymoon. And when we were in Jamaica, we got to witness something miraculous. We got to witness the birth of sea turtles. And if you don't know anything about sea turtles are an endangered species. So to see them be born is incredibly rare. And so they literally woke up the entire resort and was like, everybody get out here. We're going to make you see this because you probably won't ever see it in your lifetime. So we come out, they line us down the beach and they like waiting on them. They start coming out of the eggs, out of the ground by the hundreds, droves of these turtles headed to the water. The sad thing about that is, I counted, it was like 500 or 600 of them. He said, you know, out of that batch, maybe only 10 will survive in the water. I was like, whoa. He said either most of them will be eaten before they get into the water good. And that's saddening. This is why this is significant. So as all of this is happening, there is a couple of turtles who fall over on their backs and they're struggling. So they're just fighting. They're doing everything they can, fighting. Please, please help. They're fighting for their lives because they're stuck on their back. So one lady in line decided, I can't take this anymore. This is too much. I'm about to help this turtle. I don't care what this dude talking about. So she bends down, she grabs the turtle and she starts to flip it over. The endangered species specialist catches her out of his peripheral and he says, stop. No, don't touch it. And so the lady gets offended, like, why are you yelling at me? I'm just trying to help. I don't understand. He said, exactly, you don't understand. He said, the strength that this turtle needs to survive in that big, dark, mean, nasty ocean is built on the fight to the water. So that fighting that he's doing is literally building the strength that he needs. He might be one of the 10 that survives. She might be one of the 10 that survives because of the fight. I hope you're hearing me. Because somebody in this room has been struggling, trying to get this afloat. Somebody in this room has been struggling because you set a big goal. You set a God-sized goal. And you know that you can reach it, but it's been a struggle and you've been fighting and it's not quite. It's like almost, but I'm not quite there. And I don't know. I don't know if I should maybe lower my goal. No, you shouldn't. Because the only thing that's happening is strength is being built from your struggle. Because in this life, there is no strength without struggle. I used to be a competitive weightlifter. And when you lift weights, literally what you are doing is you are tearing your body to pieces so that the muscle comes and builds back stronger. So you're being broken so that you can be made whole again. That is the purpose of adversity in your life, right? So now that you understand that having struggles doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It doesn't mean you're messing up. You're here with an incredible team of people. You got all the support in the world, all the love, all the energy. You got everything you need. So there's no reason not to be successful. If it hasn't worked yet, I'm gonna give you a few things that I know if you implement can lead to nothing but success. So now that we've got this out of the way, I wanna leave you guys with 5 things. And these are what I call 5 C's. So I got 5 C's for you to lead you to success in 2021 and beyond for the rest of your life. These 5 C's, I promise you, you implement them, you're going to the next level. You're going 10 levels up. So let's go. The first of the 5 C's is this. If you want to have success this month, if you want to have success this year, if you want to have success in your business, you got to have community. So this right here, what you're doing, this is it. You taking time out of your night, this is it. You saying, I could be doing anything else. I could be Netflixing, I could be doing all these different things, but you made the choice to be here. Guess what? Somebody got the text message. Somebody got the message and decided not to come here. So they're going to miss out on what you're getting. And the whole purpose of community is so that when one person is weak, we can lock arms and we can pick each other up and carry. We can press through. That is what community is for. And it is a vital part to your success. You need to be surrounded by people. When you find yourself in isolation, that's a dangerous place to be. When you start feeling those self-limiting beliefs and those thoughts and those parts of your mind that are telling you you can't, that are telling you what's not possible, that are telling you, man, I got a lot to get to in the last little part of this month, but I don't know if it's possible. That's why you surround yourself with community. Because when you put yourself in this space, you're going to surround yourself by all these other people who say, no, you can. Yes, you can. I'm telling you can. I was further behind you and look what just happened. You're going to start to feel good about yourself and you're going to go kill it, right? That's what you're going to do. Cannot have success without community. Community is the foundational piece for your success this year and beyond. So when Cameron hits you guys up, when Alexander hits you guys up, when whoever it is says, we got something for you, for our community, that we want to pour into you, that we want to bless you with, I think it's imperative that you take them up on that, because they're not doing this for no reason. They're trying to be a blessing to you so that you can be successful. Foundation, the first C, community. The second one is communication. That leads me right there. The second C that's going to lead you to success is communication. How many times have you ever found yourself stuck? I mean, you just sitting in it and you think you know a way out, but you can't really figure it out. And I'm sitting here like there's over 50 people in this room that may have been stuck like you once upon a time, but they're not stuck now. So we don't got no time for ego. If we want to achieve success, we got to check that at the door. Asking for help is a superpower. Reaching out to one of your peers in your community and saying, yo, I'm stuck. I hit a wall. I don't know. I can't get people on the phone. I can't get people to come to the calls, to the Zoom. I don't know what's happening. Then you just ask, speak up, man, communicate. So somebody in this room can tell you, well, this is what I did. I just got some $5 gift cards and say, everybody who comes to this call gets a $5 gift card. Like something little. It don't have to be nothing big. Like I've had so much success with things like that. So I'm saying to you guys, don't ever struggle. Don't ever suffer in silence. And here's the thing, communication, one, about the business, but every single one of you guys are world changers, you're business owners, you're professionals, but all of you were people before you were professionals. So when you got something going on in your family, don't come on this call and smile and look all pretty like you are and act like everything is okay when it's not. If everything is not okay, then you got to communicate to somebody so that you can get the support you need. Because if there is a hole in your life, if there's a hole in your family, if there is a hole in a pivotal piece of your life, you're not going to be able to achieve success in your business because you're going to be weighed down. You're starting behind the 8 ball. Communication is vital to your success. And you don't got to tell everybody. I get it. It's insecurities. Like everybody, you can't trust everybody, which I understand all of that. But you can tell somebody. You ain't got to tell everybody. But everybody in this room needs to have somebody that they can speak to so that when you find yourself against the wall, when you find yourself hitting a rut, that you can step out of that, you can overcome it, and you have people who will lock arms and walk with you. Y'all tracking with me? Let me see some head nods. Let me see some waves. We good. Let's go. Number 3. This is crucial. The first one, community. The second one, communication. The third C for success in 2021 and beyond is consistency. Consistency, I don't have to tell y'all. Consistency is key. I can't tell you how many times I met people who want to do what I do. And they're like, man, I bought a camera and I started recording videos and I started posting content online. I started a podcast and nobody's watching. Nobody's coming. There's no engagement. I can't get people to, nobody's listening to me. I say, oh man, that's crazy. How long you been doing it? 3 weeks. 3 weeks. You know how long I was doing this before anybody cared what I had to say? I was yelling my heart out like I'm doing to you in front of a camera with 2 viewers for like a year before there ever started to be traction. So that does not mean it's not working. This is what I will tell you about consistency. How you do anything is how you do everything. It's literally one of my favorite quotes in the world. How you do anything is how you do everything. So maybe you're at a smaller part of your business right now. Maybe you're not at the top. Maybe you got big goals and dreams to work your way up, but you're not as motivated as you should be. You're not reaching out. You're not sending as many messages. You're not calling as many people. You're not taking care of the little things right now while it's small enough to be manageable. Guess what? It won't always be small. And one day people are going to come knocking on your door and opportunity might present itself and you won't be ready. The worst thing you can do is not be ready when opportunity comes calling. I got a lot of attention the last week because Clubhouse, and now people can hear my voice all over the world. And I wound up on a call with Mr. Les Brown. If you don't know who that is, he's a master motivator. And I wound up on the stage with him and he literally said, you got 60 seconds, inspire me for 2021. Well, what do you think I did? I blew the roof off. But it wasn't because in the moment I was so great. It's because I've been doing this for years. Because when only those 2 people were watching me, when I showed up to a room and there was only 10 people in the room, it might as well have been 10,000. I gave them my whole heart because I knew one day it was going to be 10,000. So how I take care of the little things is what prepared me for my moment when people are calling now. So what am I saying to you? Are you taking care of the little things? Are you consistent with your actions? Are you consistent with your phone calls? Are you consistent with your contacts? Are you consistent with your follow-ups? Are you consistent with your leads? Or are you just winging it? Are you just getting in there when you can and you're going back and forth and there's no real structure? You just, come on, man. What are you doing? Because this is not a game. This is your livelihood. Every single one of you got the power to transform your children's lives if you show up for yourself. But it's on you. Nobody's going to do it for you. And the way that you do that is consistent actions. Are you willing to do the little things that are going to take you to the next level and beyond? So I urge you, and with everything in me, show up and never stop being consistent. That's the key, friends. Number 4, y'all tracking with me? Drop them in the comments if y'all rocking with me. The first one, community. Second one, communication. Third one, consistency. Number 4 is one that I know that y'all don't do enough. Number 4 is, it might as well be an epidemic because the world struggles with this one. Celebration. Celebration is the 4th C to success. And I share that because you got to celebrate every small win. So many times we look from a place of deficit. We look at what we don't have. We look at who's not on our team. We look at how far we got to go rather than how far we've come. Look at how far you've come. Look at your team you've built. Look at the success you had. If you get one person on the phone, you better celebrate. You know how hard it is to get somebody on the phone? If you convert one lead, you better celebrate. You know how hard that is? And you can't take it for granted. Well, I'm supposed to have 10. I'm supposed to have 100, whatever. Every time you get one, you celebrate that. You know what that does? That shifts your mind into a space of gratitude so that when things aren't working out so well, it's not draining the life out of you. Instead, it might be a little setback, but it's not sucking the life out of you and creating stress and pressure because you don't need stress and pressure. There's enough of that to go around. You turn on your TV, you open your phone, any social media, it's enough of stress and pressure for all of us. You don't need any more. You don't need self-imposed stress and pressure. So you need to start celebrating. Celebrate the fact that you came here. Celebrate the fact that you got a team. Celebrate. I can't say it enough. I hope you hear what I'm saying. Don't get off the call and be like, yeah, I probably could celebrate myself more, but I got all this to do. Like, it's going to feel like fun again if you enjoy what you do. You got one of the greatest jobs in the world. You get to work for yourself and you get to connect with people. You get to build relationships with people. You get to share stories of overcoming. You get to hear stories and you get to offer people life-changing opportunities. You better celebrate that and you better enjoy it. This isn't pressure. This is fun. You get to do this. It all starts here. So the 4th one, I better see everybody on this call celebrating. I'm going to find a way to check in and make sure that when y'all close out January, every single step of the way. And the 5th and final C for success is commitment. Commitment. Community is the foundation. Commitment is the tie that binds it all together. I need every single one of you to remember why you chose to do this. Why did you sign up? Why did you say, I'll give Prove It a chance? Why did you say, I'll come into this business? Why did you say, I'm going to take steps to change my life? Why did you set your goals this year? Why did you do that? Because do you even know the answer to that? Because if you don't, when life hits, because life's going to hit, you're going to find yourself tossed to and fro, and that's how people fall off the wagon. But when you know why you chose to do what you did, you remember the commitment you made. And this isn't just a commitment you made to your upline or to your leaders. This is a commitment you made to yourself. Because this is your life. You don't get a do-over. You only get one shot at this. So instead of wasting time wondering what if I had done this, or what if I had done that, or what if I had converted this, you're wasting time and energy. None of that matters. All that matters is what you have. Well, I don't have Alexander's charisma. I don't have Cameron's big bubbly spirit. It doesn't matter. What do you have? Not what don't you have, what do you have? Because I'm here to tell you, all you have is all you need. Every single one of us wants to be, we want success, right? Success is the goal. Here's what you need to understand about success. If I offered you guys a helicopter ride to the summit of a mountain right now, that would be pretty cool. It would. But that's not the same as you climbing that mountain yourself. You know why? It's something about the fight. It's something about the grind. It's something about the struggle that unlocks something in you, a deeper level of fulfillment than you can imagine. A great philosopher once said, it's not about how fast you get to the top. It's the climb. That's Miley Cyrus, if you didn't know. And that song has always resonated with me, because what makes getting to the top of any mountain, what makes getting to the top of this business significant is not just getting to the top. It's the climb. It's every part of your journey. It's starting out. It's the struggle in the beginning. It's every time you were holding on at the end of your rope and you felt like giving up, but you held on and you pressed a little more, you pushed a little more, you found out you had more inside of you, you took it to the next level. I hope you hear my heart. I want every single one of you to know, not only can you, not only can you reach your goals, you're going to reach your goals. Not only can you finish January on top, you're going to finish January on top. Not only can you make this the most successful year you've ever had in this business, you are going to make this the most successful year you ever had in this business. You know why? Because you can. You don't need any other reason. Simply because you can. So I want every single person in this room, no more doubting. No more negative self-talk, no more limiting beliefs, no more negativity. It's straight, I'm getting it. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do everything I gotta do. I'm gonna consistently show up for my life and I'm gonna make it happen. Nobody else is gonna do it for me. I got what it takes and I'm going to do it because I can. Let's go.
Brother, like, oh my God, I literally just had to upgrade this account because I didn't want this to stop. I was like, you know, normally I'm like, I want that 40-minute limit. Today, we did not want that 40-minute limit. So we are definitely going to open it up to a Q&A portion because Marcus is gracious enough to spend a couple more minutes with us. So we're going to do that. Before we do that, Marcus, can you please tell us what is your Instagram? Because I want everyone to pull up your Instagram. We got 80 people on here. We're going to add 80 more followers to Instagram. So what is it, Marcus?
Yeah, man, it's at mblackspeaks.
At M, like Marcus, Black Speaks. Go follow him on Instagram and take a photo of this and tag him in your story and share a snippet of what you liked about what you heard. Maybe, oh my gosh, this is mind-blowing, best motivational speaker ever. Whatever you feel like sharing, we're gonna flood Instagram right now with M Black Speaks. Do you have a hashtag that we can use?
Absolutely, man, because you can.
Okay, y'all heard that. So M Black Speaks, we're gonna tag him, we're gonna take a picture. Everyone smile real quick. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's put that on Instagram. We're gonna follow him. We're gonna tag him. So with that being said, Miss Cameron, if you don't mind coming off mute for me real quick, where you at?
Hey, I'm here.
Girl, was that everything you expected or more? I'm like, this is.
I know that. Listen, I've been listening to this dude for like the last week straight, so I already knew how awesome it was gonna be. I already knew, but that was fire, Marcus. You're the bomb.
That was awesome. So we're going to open it up to some questions. So if you don't mind using the raise the hand feature, or if we don't all speak around each other, we can let you unmute yourself, but we want to make sure that we don't all speak on top of each other. Is anyone raising their hand, Cameron?
I got a couple pages. Let's just have somebody come off mute and then raise your hand if you want to go next. We'll do it like that. Cool? Who's going to kick this thing off with an awesome question?
If not, I'm going to pick you. Okay, I'm going to pick Samantha Rose. Come on mute. Come off mute, Samantha Rose. Come on.
Oh, hi. All right. So, I was trying to figure out a question because I didn't want to unmute. So thanks for putting me on the spot. I like working under pressure. One, you're amazing. I was like literally like this the whole time. I freaking love you. I appreciate you. I've actually never heard you speak before. So whoever arranged this, Alex and Cam, thank you so much for introducing me to him. And thank you, Marcus, for taking your time to do this. So what I'll ask you, what was that defining moment in your life where you opened your eyes and you said to yourself, this is where the shift happened? This is that shift. I know you shared your story, but what was that one defining moment for you?
That's a great question. And the accident was a part of it, but that wasn't really the defining moment. It was my lowest moment. My wife and I was like in and out of jobs. Corporate America kills everything inside of me, just sucks the life out of me. And that's what I was doing. And at our lowest moment, we didn't have a car. We were borrowing a church member's car, and it had been bludgeoned by Oklahoma hail. So there was like no roof. And so I used to get rained on a suit on the way to work. But this particular day, I didn't even have the car. I got dropped off. And that day they had a budget cut, and I was told that I was let go. And my boss took my belongings, because I didn't have anything to put them in. She pulled a Walmart bag out of her trash. She only had like a piece of paper in it, but still, she pulled it out of her trash, put my belongings in it, handed it to me, and was like, "Thank you for your services." And I found myself walking down the highway in a suit with my bags, all my belongings in a Walmart trash bag. And something triggered in my brain. It's like, this ain't it, man. I got to figure it out. Whatever it is, this is not it. And I'm going to I had already dedicated my time and my heart to serving people. I was just doing that for free. But I was like, I'm about to put in the work, the grind, everything it takes to figure out how to make my dream a reality. And so that was that moment. Great question.
Yeah, I just got goosebumps everywhere. Thanks for sharing that. It's powerful.
Who's up next?
I'll go. Marcus, I have been following you on Clubhouse for the last 2 weeks, and I literally turned on my notifications to be notified every time you start speaking. Like, you are so powerful, so powerful. And like, I thank you so much. So, okay, my question is, have you always been a speaker, or is it something that you had to break out of that comfort zone? And how did you break out of that comfort zone if you did?
Woo, that is an incredible question. And the answer to that question is absolutely not. I failed public speaking in college. I ran from the stage. I ran from the mic. I did not want it. Don't put me in front of 10 people. I would have a fit. And I got hired at a mega church, and one of the first things they tell me, I was like, "Oh yeah, I love to help people. This is dope. Let's get it." And they were like, "Yeah, and you're gonna be on that massive stage in front of all these people." And I was like, "I'm not." And they were like, "You are." And I was like, "I'm not." And they were like, "You are. You don't have a choice." So they made me do it, and I hated every moment of it. I'm not gonna say I was terrible. I've always had a gift to be able to speak well, but I hated it. I was just get super nervous and my stomach's turning. But this is when it changed for me, and I will never forget this. One day, I was going through my routine in my class, and I was just trying to hurry up and rush through this information so I could get off the stage, and a lady cut me off. She just stopped me, and she said, "Please, can I talk to you about something that I'm struggling with?" And I wanted to say no, if I'm honest, because I was like, I got to get through this information. But I said, "What's on your heart?" And she said, "I feel like my life is in shambles." She said, "I got family in this church in the other room who doesn't know that I slept in my car last night. I don't have a place to lay my head." She said, "They don't know that I was snorting cocaine lines in my car last night. And I don't know what happened. It will never go back. Something happened in that moment where the light bulb went off in my head. Now, anytime I'm in front of people, this is not about information. Somebody's life is on the line." And so once those dots connected in my brain, I threw that stuff off the table because that didn't matter anymore. And I just started speaking to her heart. And I started pouring this, and something happened that I never felt before. Like a passion just rose up in me. Like all of this you hear, all of that, I didn't have that. That kicked in that day. It just, something happened. And ever since, I've never been in front of people and been able to not speak with passion because the dots connected for me that when I'm in front of people, it's not about me. It's not about the words. It's not about fancy. It's about somebody's life can be better. Somebody's at the end of their rope, and my words might be the very thing that they can hold on to. And so that I kind of got ushered into it, and then I've never turned back. Well, that's a great question.
You just spoke to my soul, because that is completely me. I'm a runner. I can speak to the soul. I have great conversations. I communicate like 1,000. But when it comes to me speaking, that's me. I'm running. My hands are sweating. Even now, they're sweating. Thank you.
You just did it, Amanda. You just did it. And you know what I love about that, Marcus, is for me and a lot of people on here, this product changed my body, but this community literally changed my life. Where I was to where I am today, my life has changed and I'm saved because someone loved me enough to share the opportunity. And all of us probably come in that same place. Someone loved each and every single one of us enough to share ketones, to share the business opportunity. But we have one of my faves up next. Miss Kristen Nugent, please come off of mute and ask this brother a question. She's a fellow believer, so I'm excited.
Welcome to the family, Marcus. Thank you, Alex. You're awesome. So yes, I am a believer, and I just love everything that you're saying tonight. We really appreciate your time. I want to know this. So you're in front of a lot of people every day. You have such high spirits. We have to be like the light in the world, right? Like we always have to be on. We just have to do it all because that's just the kind of people that we were put on this earth to be. Where do you go, Marcus, in times of complete and utter maybe overwhelm, or like, you know, like everybody on this call understands what it's like to just always have to be this positive person, right? Where do you dig deep? Where does that come from? Where do you pull from in those times of need when you need to be pulled up?
Oh, that is an incredible question, Miss Kristen. I hope all of you guys take this one to heart, because this was a game changer for me. I do. People ask me, like, there's been people, I literally had a friend of mine shut down this week because they were following me on Clubhouse from room to room and seeing just me bare my soul, like over and over and over and over again. And they almost had an anxiety attack of like just being an empath and taking all that in, and was like, if I'm feeling this way, what must you be feeling? And this is what I taught her. The most important thing that you guys can do for your business, for your family, for your relationship, is make sure that you never pouring from an empty cup. So you can't pour from an empty cup because you got nothing to pour. So there is a part of my life every single day where I go to refuel. And so every morning I am a person who, like, I find peace in nature. And so to silence the noise, I don't mess with the phone. I don't mess with the news. I don't mess with the TV. If you check my Instagram and you scroll through, you're going to see years, like 80% of my content is in front of some body of water, because I'm going to hit the lake. I'm going to hit the nature trail. I'm going to sit for like an hour, steady my thoughts, calm my mind, let God speak to my heart. I'm refueling, I'm refreshing, I'm replenishing. But that's a day. I can't do that once a week and pour out this much. That's a day. I have to do that every day. So the answer to your question is, I got to make sure that my tank is never empty. I got to make sure that I'm always pouring into me. And here's the thing, that's not always easy. I got 2 kids. My wife works for the government, so they're not as flexible with her schedule. But so I got to take my kids to school and do all this other stuff that I'm doing. But I got to make at least 30 minutes. I have to. You got to find time, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Don't say there's no time. You make time for what's important to you. And if you're not important to you, nothing else in the world will be important to you. So I get out there and you'll start seeing, like, people are like, man, how do you come up with all the inspiration for these videos? I'm like, it's just like, I sit out there for like an hour and whatever's in my heart, I just open my phone and talk. Like, that stuff is not planned. It's overflow. All of this, the stories, the sharing, it's overflow. It's what's coming out of my heart. So my encouragement to you guys, find time to refuel yourself. It's a busy life. She's exactly right. You got a lot of people pulling on you. You're going to be in front of a lot of people. You got to be that high spirited to connect the dots for people. You can't do that and sustain that if you're not actively pouring into yourself, not just quarterly, not just a once a year vacation, but on a daily basis.
That's powerful. So we have Keto Jesus coming up. That is his name because he is a believer as well, but he also got some long hair and a beard. His name is actually Vaughn.
Yeah, Marcus, Vaughn Hendricks here, Boynton Beach, Florida. Absolutely a pleasure to listen to you tonight. And Kristen, that was an amazing question because that's kind of where I was going. Always everybody leaning on us, but who motivates the motivator, right? Who coaches the coach? Who gets you to the next level? You talked about filling your cup and, a couple things of what you did there, but what does that look like for you? What does filling that cup look like for you each and every day?
That's good, man. So I'm glad you said that because there's something I didn't say. So feeling it for me literally means silencing the noise. So like a part of my greatest stresses come from before Clubhouse, like reading people's comments on Facebook and watching people arguing, and then I turn on the TV. You can't even turn on local news and you feel like the world's falling apart. I've been out of that world for 2 weeks. Like, I don't even know what's happening in the world anymore. I've just been so consumed with Clubhouse. But this is what I didn't mention. So I got this whole process, right? And I talked to you about going to refuel in nature. So that's my time. That's my personal time with God where he speaks. It's like, I kind of look at it like Jesus, like when because he was pouring out every day, but he always went to the mountaintop. It's like, all right, Jesus was like, I need a break from people. Let me go do this thing. Let me go just refuel. That's how I refuel my soul. But it's an easier process because I live by the concept of fountains and drains. So in your life, there are fountains and there are drains. So fountains, what do fountains do? If you go see a fountain, they just pour. They pour out into everything around them. They just pour out. And what do drains do? Drains literally just suck up everything the fountains are pouring. So everything in life is either a fountain or a drain. There's some gray areas, but if you can start to eliminate some of those frivolous drains in your life, you're going to make refueling yourself easy, because what you're doing is you're patching up the holes in your cup. I say you can't pour from an empty cup, but even if you're going to refuel yourself, if there's a big, massive hole at the bottom that's draining everything out of you, your cup is never going to be full. You're never going to have an overflow. So I literally eliminate. When I say like Facebook got crazy and inauguration and people talking about, I haven't seen Facebook. That was a drain for me. There's some people in my life that I'm not connected to anymore because they have become drains to me. There's some job opportunities. There's some speaking opportunities I don't take. All opportunities aren't good opportunities because that's going to drain. So this, I knew, man, the energy, the people I'm connected with, having an opportunity to serve, it was a no-brainer for me. And I knew that this is a room full of fountains, so this is an opportunity for me to pour into you guys. I love that. But I don't take too many. I have people calling every day. Like, if you can see my Instagram DMs, it's ridiculous right now. I got like 500 requests this week. And most of them I don't have to think about, because if that's a drain, it doesn't align with my purpose or my personal mission or what I feel like God gave me, I can't do it, and I'm unapologetic about that. So that makes the process easier when I am poured into me, for it to stay, for it to sustain, because I patched the holes and eliminated the drains.
Wow, that's powerful. And I'm gonna say one more thing, Alex. Like, that's something that I go to all the time. I ask people, I say, you know, be careful who you're hanging around. Are you hanging around a fountain or a drain? And I use that exact verbiage because you have to be able to hang around. And sometimes the drains are the people closest to you. Sometimes it's your family, and it doesn't mean you cut them off forever, but sometimes you have a vision to where you're going, and you have to stay true to that. And you're going to have to cut some people every now and then. And it may be hard. It's not going to always be easy, but thank you for saying that, because it's something that I lean on quite a bit. And I ask people all the time, well, who are you hanging around? I ask my kids, who's your show me your 5 friends. I'll show you what your future looks like.
Ooh, I love that too. Man, you're turning all of us into motivational speakers, Marcus. You're infectious, bro. You know, one thing I want to let you know, because I heard in one of the clubhouse rooms, I think actually we were both moderating, so maybe you heard it. But it was about network marketing. And she said, you know, think about a teacup and the saucer, right? She said, you fill your cup, but you never give from your cup. You give from your saucer. You give from your overflow. So you're always fulfilled. And that really resonated with me. So I love everything you're saying. So I do have one question to ask you. So Trent came into your life, made a lot of changes. I know the story. Can you tell that story? Because you were knocking down doors to get what you needed to go where you wanted to go.
Man, that's a great question. For those who don't know who he's talking about, Trent Shelton, he's one of the greatest speakers in the world, has one of the biggest, his online following community is like 15 million. And so part of it was a God thing, because somebody bought me a ticket to his VIP, one of his events, VIP, and they were like, hey, have you heard of this guy? I was like, absolutely. I've been following this guy for years. They're like, well, he's in your city and I know what's in your heart. And I believe you can do what he does. I invested in you. I bought you a VIP ticket to his event. I was like, oh, what? Mind blown. Let's go. When is it? They were like, in 3 hours. 3 hours? So I had to talk to my wife, like, yo, this cool? Like, you about to be with the kids by yourself? She was like, just go. Like, go. Make it happen. So I went. I got there early. I'm sitting there with my notepad, and it's time for the event to start. Nobody shows up but me. I'm like, so he comes out to his assistant and is like, where the people at? She's like, only person here is him. And Trent was like, well, that's not his fault. So let's go. So he brought me in, and he was the most down to earth person. So we started talking. We built a relationship, and he asked me what I wanted to do. And I just poured my heart out to him. I bared my soul. And he said to me, you're gonna change the world one day, and I want to have a front row seat. I want you to send me a message on Instagram so I can follow you back so I can watch. Now I'm thinking like, that's what he tells everybody. That's what I'm honestly thinking, like, okay, sure, right. But the next day while I was at church, because that was a Saturday night, I got a message from him thanking me, and he reiterated what he said. So what happened over the course of that time, and this is for any of you guys who are thinking of like, there's somebody big, maybe somebody big in your organization, and maybe you want to secure mentorship. I get it, they're busy, but this was the secret sauce. Over the course of the next year after that moment we met, I found his speaking itinerary. So I looked it up, I found it, and every day that he had to go speak somewhere, traveling, I sent him a message at the top of the morning, a prayer, just saying, yo, man, I'm praying for you, for your mind, for your heart, for your thoughts, and for the people to be impacted. Something simple. And he always responded to me at the end of the night and said it was an impactful night, like lives were changed, like I feel good. I mean, he just told me how it went. So I did that for like a whole year. At the end of the year, I just said, man, forget it. I had all these opportunities. I was going to be a John Maxwell speaker or Eric Thomas speaker. And I'm looking at these programs, and my friend was like, bro, you met Trent. He was like, Trent is the keynote speaker at Maxwell's conference. Why would you go through a program when you have a connection to a person? So I crafted a message and sent it to him. And I just said, hey, man, look, I'm desperate for this. This is what I want to do with my whole life. Like, can I come to your next event? Can I shadow you? Can I sweep the floor? Can I wash the windows? Can I move the merch? Like, I just want to be in the room so that I can learn what it takes to function at this level. And that, he said, like, from day one, like, he said, you realize that I get thousands of DMs a day of people asking me for something, asking me, will you wear this? Will you do this? Can you do this for me? He said, you were like 1 out of 1,000 that day that said, can I do this for you? And that instantly made me jump off the paper because, and he took me in under his wing. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first he's still my coach, but he was my coach in the beginning. And for him to coach me was $1,000 a month that I didn't have, but I said, let's do it anyway. And I found a way because I wanted it that bad to make it happen for 3 months. And after the third month, he told me, don't give me no more money. He said, I don't want your money. He said, you've done everything I asked you to do. You've showed up, you've been consistent. It's all heart. I just want to do this off the strength of the relationship. So he's been my coach to this day without charging me, just because the faithfulness. So I hope you hear that sound of my voice, and you guys got people you look up to. You see people crushing it at the top of your industry, and you want that connection to them. You got to think, when you guys go to events or you have virtual calls, everybody's asking them for something. What question can you ask that's going to make you stand out? What value can you add to their life? How can you get their attention, not from a selfish place, but from a place of servitude, because that's going to be the difference maker in your life and your business.
Woo! That was powerful. Thank you so much for sharing. We have 2 more questions left. And so Miss Jane, if you don't mind coming off of mute, please.
Hello. Hi. Wow, Marcus, this is amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I feel like I instantly wanted to raise my hand and pick your brain. And it seems like a lot of these questions are kind of going in the same direction, but I can't imagine that anyone would hate you. I don't think anyone on this call can, but we all have to deal with haters. And as a team leader, I feel like that's something I'd like to be able to coach and encourage people when you can't step away, or when you're confronted with someone that is, I mean, the walls of your cup are well reinforced, but let's say that you can't escape a drain. How would you approach a hater?
That's a good question too, my friend. Thank you for asking, Miss Jane. I would say, number one, for me personally, you got to control the controllables. So what can you control? Can you control a hater? Absolutely not. There's nothing you can do. But if you cannot eliminate the drain for your life, then I'm going to double down on kindness. I'm going to double down on compassion. Because a lot of times when people are being difficult on purpose, it's not because they want to be difficult. They're seeking attention and they don't know how else to get it. So what's happening is, I guarantee you they're having something. And I work with inner city kids and families too. So like I'm trauma informed, like I'm trained to like work with people with trauma. So a lot of times when they start acting out like that, it's almost always connected to something in their life. They lost a loved one, they lost a relationship, their heart is broken, they lost something happened significant that's causing them to make life difficult for everyone. And sometimes all it takes is somebody to step outside of your situation and say, hey, I noticed things might have been a little difficult for you lately. Like, are you okay? Like, is there anything I can do for you? Can I get you a meal? Can I get you a coffee? I've seen it happen like this, where somebody do a whole turn just because they realize that somebody cared. And it doesn't always happen instant. Sometimes it takes more time. Sometimes they double down. Once you double down, they double down to be more difficult. But you can't control anybody else's heart. And if somebody really just has malice in their heart and they just want to tear down you and your spirit, that's not a reflection of you. Don't take it personal. That's a reflection of the hole in their own heart. That's a reflection of them and their character and their personality, and they're going to be limited by that. Alex has been saying it, man. You're going to reap what you sow. So if you sow love to that person that's been difficult to you, you're going to get it back in another form, and they're going to get back what they're giving as well. You don't have to worry about that. So I would just encourage you. I always say choose kindness. It matters. Compassion. It matters. And when people say things, maybe I'm weird, but I never take it personally. Like, it doesn't bother me. You can say what you want. I've developed this mantra in high school. Like, I'm just gonna be me, regardless. Didn't make me. They can't break me. No way can they shake me unless I let them. So with that being said, that's how I handle them.
Woo! They didn't give you your purpose and they ain't gonna take it. And too often we let others take our purpose away. That was powerful. That spoke straight to my heart. Woo! Miss Eileen, can you please come off mute? And this is the last question before we give him a very, very big.
Hello, and thank you so much. Like everybody has been saying, thank you so much for your time. I just joined Clubhouse a few weeks ago and just getting the hang of it. And yes, I will definitely be putting my notifications on from here on in every time you speak, because this truly just spoke to my heart, true and true. So I'm a mom of two, and I heard that you have children as well. My question to you is, how do we show or teach our children to have that resilience and to, be in that mindset? Because I've taken 3 years literally since joining this community and have really dug into my mindset, and I've truly changed, not only as a human being, but as a mom, as a wife. And what I've learned is, I wish I would have done it sooner. And I wish I had the parents who knew how to do that. So how would you, what do you say to your kids? So that so it's in their terms, in their language, how do you even begin to create that resilience in such a young age?
Woo, that is an incredible question, my friend. Miss Eileen, thank you for asking. I just appreciate your heart. I could hear it in your question. I had a mentor tell me, the greatest sermon you'll ever preach is the life you live. It's not about the words you say. You can say it all day. Information doesn't change anybody's life. Information is not going to give them the strength that they need to overcome adversity. It's watching you do it. Because whether you know it or not, I don't care how young they are watching. And they are taking mental notes, and it is being ingrained in their subconscious. And if they've been watching you fight for it, and they've been watching you climb, and they've been watching you crawl, and they've been watching you do everything in your power to not give up, you know what? It's built into their DNA. So when they get old enough to experience life and life hits, they're going to remember how mommy responded. They're going to remember what they saw mommy do. They're going to remember not seeing mommy give up, and then they are going to do it also. So it's literally just modeling the behavior you want in them, because you can teach all day. That don't mean nothing. It's not about teaching. It's about saying. You don't even have to say anything. But something practical you can do is when they do see you go through a tough time or they see you in tears, you just explain to them why. You say, this was really tough for me. This was really tough for mommy. But I always make sure that I fight because life is important and it's worth fighting for what you want in life. because now they're getting to see your actions, and they're connecting those actions with your words, and it is being ingrained because they are sponges. They're soaking up everything. So I would say you're already doing it. What you've done the last 3 years, if you've already started ingraining the message in their minds and their hearts, and so they're already going to be ready. You just keep doing what you're already doing, and you'll have no other result other than success.
Whew. You got
Thank
me
you
in
so
my
much.
feels a little. I'm gonna try to keep it together. Y'all know me already. Y'all know Alex cries. I'm not afraid of it. That was awesome. So I have a question I'm gonna ask, but first I have someone that's texting me, begging me, please, I have to ask this question. So I'm gonna let it through. Miss Lynn, if you can please come off mute and ask your question.
Hey, Marcus, it's Lynn. I've been following you on Clubhouse. We've connected on Instagram. You have poured so much value into my life the last few days listening to you, and now again tonight. So thank you so much for being here. Listen, you said something the other day, and I'm just going to leave it at this because I think this will be an amazing way for you to share something with everyone and maybe end it. Can you tell us your 3 I's?
Absolutely. So the 3 I's, I learned that from the master himself. Information. Information is good. Information is not enough. I can give you all the information in the world. Your upline, your coaches can give you all the information in the world. Information is free. You can Google it. It's not enough. Inspiration. I know when I come out of a room, you're going to be ready to run through the wall. I know that. I don't have a doubt, because that's what I'm here to do, and I'm going to fulfill my purpose. So all of y'all about to go slay January. I have no doubt. But inspiration does not last, because life is going to come back tomorrow, and it's going to be fierce, and you got to make the choice to buckle up and stay consistent and remember your commitment when life hits. Inspiration is not enough. It's about implementation, the 3rd I. You guys got to implement the stuff we're talking about. You got to implement the 5 C's. You got to take action, because life will pass you by. And the hero that you're waiting to come and drop success in your lap, that person doesn't exist. The real hero lives inside of you in your own heart. And so you're the one that has to take the step. And when you show up for your life, there's no other possible outcome than success. So I urge you, everything inside of me, keep going, keep growing, keep living, keep loving life. I always ask why. You don't need any other reason. Simply because you can.
Yes. In Spanish, we say, "Si se puede." That's a literally saying. Like, so I love that. Listen, I have a question, because everyone's DMing me, texting me. Where can we buy your merch that says "Because you can"? Because we want to be repping Mr. Marcus Black, because you threw down some fire.
It's coming soon, man. I've been advertising just to create a buzz, but my DM's been blowing up. So if you guys are following me on Instagram, you're going to see it the day it drops. You can hit the link and make it happen.
We're going to be, literally, you have 80 new fans here. You're going to have 80 orders of that shirt. I can't wait. And I just want to say thank you so much again for taking the time out to share with us. Thank you guys for showing up, especially those that were here from the beginning to the end. His words gave you the information. His heart and spirit gave you the inspiration. But now it's up to you to put in the implementation. So let's not let this man down who took his time out for us, and let's implement everything that he poured into us tonight. Marcus Black, we are so proud that you are part of our family now, and anything you need, sir, we are here for you.
So the last thing I say, I see a lot of people asking, how can you serve me? The greatest way you can serve me is being the greatest you. By you guys going, fulfilling your dreams, me watching the light bulb go off lets me know that my mission was accomplished. So that's the greatest thing you could do for me. And then if you want a practical step, if you like any of the content you see on Instagram, if it resonates, if it speaks to your heart, just share it, send it to somebody who might need it. You never know who's struggling, who might need the message. So I think, I think that's about it. Check it out.
Awesome, guys. Let's everyone come off mute, and let's just give him a heartfelt goodbye, good night. Thank you so much. Everyone off mute. Come on, Jane. I see you. Everybody.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
Bye.
Thank you.
How much that meant.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
We will see you on the Clubhouse. Also, make sure you follow him there and click the bell and click always. So when he goes on a stage, you know you're going to get some fire. And make sure you listen to this man and share. Tell everybody about him. Because listen, we get to be one of the people that get to say when he was on the precipice about to reach the tip of that mountain, we were right there with him, y'all. We get to say that. So let's make sure that we're sharing it. And y'all have a great night. Thank you so much, Cameron, for co-hosting with me tonight. And you all have a blessed night. Let's prove it every day, guys.